Welcome back to the shop. I've been making some good progress on this tank lately. As you can see, I've been working on building the body of it. It's really starting to come together visually. So I've got a few things I'm going to talk about today. First, the body, the obvious thing. It's really pretty simple. It's just 3/8 inch plywood all the way around. It's just bolted on with 1/4 inch lag bolts, have a nice flat head like that, so they don't stick out and they're not obnoxious at all. They don't really stand out above the profile of it. But anyways, I have pretty much all the siding done right now, all the way around from the sides and the back. I have the front panel for it. It's behind the turret ring there, but that'll go on a little bit later, and that will be 3/4 inch plywood and probably 1/2 inch or so as the bottom on the front. And another thing I've done is put on the idler wheels. There's 4 just like that on each side. They look very good. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I actually used the same idler wheels as I had before, the old ones. I had to make 3 more though because I had 6, I needed 8, and I lost one of the 6. But of course I found it right after I made the 3 extras. But anyways, here's the idler wheels. They're just bolted on with 5/8 inch all thread. Just bolted on here, like that. On the side panel. I also made this little square type washer thing to give it more support as well. And so those are the idler wheels. I made a little fake rim on this, just 1/4 inch plywood on the outside, and that really brings it all together, I think. Adds some nice contrast, makes it look similar to the real road wheels. So that is that. And the other big thing I've done was I constructed this secondary frame on top of the engine compartment. That is this. And this is bolted on these little 6 mounts I've made across the frame. So this entire kind of secondary frame lifts off just like that, so that you can access the engine compartment, take out big parts like the engine or hydraulic reservoir if I ever had to, because I didn't want to, if I welded this on, then everything would be pretty much trapped inside, and I didn't want that. So, and you can see how it's flat on the middle and gradually sloped all around the edges, and that is what the final profile will look like. I spent a long time thinking about how to do that and how it would come together and everything, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks just like how I imagined it would, so that's good. And then the one more big thing is that the tracks, I have been working on reinforcing them with the surface of this so the wood doesn't wear away. The tracks are out here. Look at these beauties. I put aluminum flat bar on top of every track pad. I also painted the tracks black as well. So as you can see, here, I'll flip this one over. See, I painted it all black. It doesn't look like wood anymore. So those are the tracks. I spent a long day attaching every one of these. That's 6 screws on each track pad, 112 pads on each track, so that's 224 total. Drilled all the holes, countersunk every one of the holes to take the head of the screw. But that in all took 12.5 hours, and I did that all yesterday. So that was a long day. But anyways, I have been putting some finishing touches on this before the second test drive. So I fixed the kill switch because figure out what was wrong with it. The problem with it was it didn't actually ground to anywhere. So that's why it didn't work. But anyways, I figured out how to do that. The kill switch works now, which is very important because if something goes wrong, I want to be able to kill the engine as fast as I can instead of waiting for the fuel to run out in the carburetor. But that is the tank. As of now, I am going to put the tracks on now and hopefully go for a test drive. So, see you then.
So we got the second running of the tank here after Vince did some modifications to it. Shortened the overall length 27 inches and put new road wheels on, changed the bottom road wheels from 8-inch diameter to 12-inch diameter wheels. Going pretty good. Seeing if we might have a problem. What happened? The idler wheel.
Yeah, it's because the bar here wasn't strong enough.
Okay.
That came right out.
All right. Well.
Look how bad that is.
Oh yeah.
This one's fine. I noticed that one was loose when I was riding it. This one's fine now. But I'll figure out. This one needs to even bent a little bit.
Okay. Modify the design a little bit. Back to it.
Yep. Well, that didn't go exactly according to plan. When I got to the top of the hill up there and went to turn, the axle for the front the idler wheel here on both sides, mainly this side, but this side too, bent inwards because where I have this piece of angle bar coming out, it's just really, really thin right here. And that just wasn't able to take the stress. So what I'm gonna do right now is take the tracks off. I'll roll it into the garage here and then get a better idea of the damage. Alright, I got it into the garage now. I got the idler wheels off at the front, and you can really see just how much that shaft bent. It wasn't the actual axle that bent, as I said earlier. It was this piece of angle iron. That was the problem. I don't think you can see it too well, but right, that thin part on the bottom is what bent. So, aside from that, the other thing, it stopped running as I was going up this hill right here, and that was because the gas tank was lower than the carburetor when it was going up the hill, so it just didn't get gas. So we just clamped the gas tank up here temporarily, and that did the trick. So I'll figure that out. The seal on this isn't good. The hydraulic oil leaks out of it all over the place. The shaft collars on these axles here aren't holding. So what I'm gonna do right now is turn the lights off and worry about this tomorrow.